What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. It's finally here, and in this video, we're sharing 5 reasons why I really like the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. Let's go. Now, the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 will set you back $119 for just the gimbal, and you can also get a combo that will set you back $139. The combo includes a really nice case that has a really nice texture feel to it, and also it includes a tripod that doubles as a hand grip. So it's really cool because you'll have a little bit extra support there, but also it flows. It looks really good. It was well designed in terms of like the color and the way it fits in the gimbal. It's actually a little bit longer too because the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 has an angle design. It kind of tilts back a little bit because the ergonomics are designed to fit a little bit better with your hand. So instead of holding the gimbal fully vertical, you'll be able to just naturally hold it in the natural shape of the hand. So that's really cool. And honestly, I feel the combo is where it's at because you're going to get a lot of value there. If you were to purchase the case and the tripod by itself, you're definitely going to pay more than the actual combo itself. So I totally recommend it. The case is lovely. It's very minimalistic, and I really like just the form factor overall. The DJI Osmo Mobile 3 is going to use this time around the DJI Mimo app, which is the same app that the Osmo Pocket and the Osmo Action use. And I'm honestly really happy that this change took place because now the entire Osmo line in 2019 will use just the Mimo app. Now, the DJI Mimo app comes with all the functionality that we're used to and love from the DJI Go applications and a ton more. So you'll have photo mode, you'll have your video mode, time-lapse, hyperlapse, and slow motion on iOS. Android, as it turns out, does not have the slow motion mode for some reason, but as an alternative, because the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 connects directly to your smartphone, you'll be able to use third-party applications, including the native camera app, so you'll be able to compensate for some of those modes that might not be available on your smartphone. Now, the one mode that's new for the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 is going to be the Stories mode, which is actually a lot of fun because the Story mode will give you a template for you to follow. It will technically give you a shot list and will say, hey, I need a clip of 2.7 seconds or 4 seconds or 3 seconds, and the gimbal itself will pretty much edit this video for you. So if you're filming with the family or doing a little bit more casual workflow and you just simply want to upload something quick to social media, this actually edits the video and puts the music for you, which is really cool. I see a lot of families using this for events, but I also see a lot of people that might just want to upload something real quick and say, hey, I'm working on this, check this out. That's kind of cool. It's really cool that you have an option to get something out really quick. The DJI Osmo Mobile 3 has a 15-hour battery life, and it supports about 230 grams of payload capacity. Now, before we dive into the 5 reasons why I really like the DJI Osmo Mobile 3, we took it out to compare the stabilization between handheld and, of course, with the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. We put it to the test using the DJI Mimo app and the native camera app on iPhone XS Max, and we also threw in the DJI Mimo app performance on Android as well on both the rear and the front-facing camera. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really like the way things are looking in the stabilization department. Typically, the native camera app adds a little bit of digital image stabilization, which helps smooth things out, but jumping over to the DJI Mimo app, I didn't notice that much of a difference, which was really cool. Because often, depending on the type of work that I wanted to do, I might actually compensate with that digital image stabilization. And with the DJI Mimo app, I was actually able to get very smooth footage with minimal bumps and minimal impact. Now, some of the differences that I encountered while filming with the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 lead me to reason number 1, and that will be the foldable design. Because of this foldable design, you'll be able to put this gimbal in a lot of smaller places. I was even able to put it in one of my jackets when I was out and about trying to film. Or if you're using the case, it takes very, very minimal space if you're putting it in a luggage or in a backpack. And when we compare both the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 versus the DJI Osmo Mobile 2, you could totally see a big difference in terms of just the overall size when you're not using the gimbal. So this is very, very useful if you're traveling light with just the backpack. And because the Osmo Mobile 3 has that locking mechanism, it doesn't matter how you move it or how you carry it, it's not going to be wobbling around if you were to toss it in a backpack. So kudos to DJI for that foldable design and that locking mechanism, incredibly useful. Now, because this brand new design moved the motors out of the way, you'll be able to use third-party lenses, you'll be able to use wide-angle cameras that are already coming out built into your smartphones. In previous videos using GoPros or different wide-angle lenses like Sandmarc lenses, you actually have to hold the gimbal in toward position to get that motor out of the way. And now you really don't need to worry about this because the motor is completely removed from line of sight, giving you the freedom to pop in any lenses or different smartphones that might have the built-in wide-angle lens. And this is amazing. This is really cool. More capabilities. Yes, the DJI Osmo Mobile 3 fundamentally changes the way we interact with the gimbal. Instead of pushing forward to torch position or flashlight position just to film crane shots, maybe slider shots or steps at a lower height, you now have to lower the gimbal to the right. And this is something that it took me a little while to get my mind wrapped around it because we're so used to just simply push forward in order to lower the gimbal or go higher. In this case, you actually have to go sideways. And it was very, very challenging at first, but very, very happy that that's a thing right now. Reason number 2, hand gesture control. Now, the DJI Mimo has a really awesome feature called gesture control. And this allows you to not only use the front-facing camera, but also the rear camera. And all you really have to do to start either taking photos or video is just hold up the peace sign or your hand. This is fantastic because I love to film with the front-facing camera for its practicality, but there is no denying that the rear camera has a better dynamic range, better focus, better depth of field, and just better tracking, period. So if you place this gimbal with a tripod on a flat surface and just simply stand in front of it, if you enable the gesture control, hold up that peace sign or your hand, make sure you turn airplane mode and do not disturb. That way you don't get interrupted, because if not, you're going to have to go all the way back to the gimbal. But gesture control, very, very excited to use it in more of my videos because on top of that is going to track you. Which leads me to reason number 3. Tracking 3.0. Now, in my opinion, DJI software has always been very, very polished and very consistent. And one of the features that has always been amazing has been the active tracking. And in terms of face tracking or object tracking, I feel it's snappier and more accurate. It feels like it's predicting where you're going to move. It gives me a little bit better sense of confidence. And when I even threw in my Samsung Galaxy S10, the tracking was fantastic as well. I cannot complain. The tracking keeps getting better and better. Now, in addition to that, one of the really cool things that they've added to tracking is that you can compose your shot. You can actually use the joystick on your gimbal to reposition your subject relative to your screen. So if you're trying to compose your shot and position your subject to the left, to the right, top, or lower side of the screen, you can do this by adjusting it real time as you're being tracked. And this, I feel it's fantastic because if you're showcasing a product, if you're showcasing an environment, if you're traveling, you're going to a museum and you want to showcase something to your right or to your left, often the tracking has always kept you right in the center. But now you have the option to reposition, and once you reposition, you have enough frame to be able to showcase what you want to showcase. And for photos, this is amazing because if you don't have a photographer or anybody to take a picture, now by adjusting it with the joystick, you'll be able to reposition your subject. And I love this feature. This is definitely a welcome feature, and I know I'm going to use that feature just to make sure I keep up with the composition. Reason number 4 is going to be the brand new Unrestricted Grip. On the previous generations of DJI Osmo Mobile and a lot of different gimbals in the industry, once you set your phone in your grip, it's pretty much tight shut by the right motor. Because of the brand new design of the DJI Osmo Mobile 3, once you set your phone in that grip, it actually does not block the ports on your phone. So you'll be able to adjust your phone to the right or to the left in order to achieve balance, which is fantastic because not only you can charge your phone with the USB port that's cleverly positioned on the right side of the handle, but you can also use third-party lenses and accessories and adjust the proper balance of your smartphone. This opens the door not only for charging while you're filming, but also using third-party accessories like microphones, lights. You can throw in a lavalier microphone, or if you just need a different lens, you actually have unrestricted movement to the left or to the right side of the grip. And also the grip happens to be a little bit wider, so I was able to fit my phone with a case and even a moment case, which those are usually thicker and bigger. So definitely a huge improvement from the grip, not only because you can adjust the balance of your phone if you're using lenses, which by the way, I was able to use a Sandmarc wide lens and anamorphic with my initial testing, but also if you're in need of better audio, you could leverage a lavalier microphone or even a wireless microphone solution if you're using any brackets or any third-party accessories. And feature number 5 is going to be the quick roll. The DJI Osmo Mobile 3 allows you to switch from landscape to portrait orientation just by double-clicking the mode button. On the previous generation, you actually had to remove the phone, undo the screw, rotate the grip, put the phone back, and if you needed to quickly switch, it was a nightmare because you had to stop what you're doing, you needed to use both hands, and now you just double tap the mode button and it will switch for you very seamlessly. I don't know why, but this motion is very, very satisfying. And I think this is very useful because for those of you who are streaming on social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or you're trying to create some community posts right after you're done filming, you don't have to remove your phone from the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. All you got to do is double tap the mode button and it will get you there automatically. I was even able to use FaceTime because I forgot to put airplane mode at one point and I received a FaceTime call. So the quality of the FaceTime call actually improved because I wasn't holding it with my hand and it was all bouncy and jittery. So definitely a plus. Having said that, the mode button allows you not only to switch from landscape to portrait, but also of course switch for the different following modes. Now the one thing you'll notice will be the grand return of the trigger. And I'm so happy this is back in the game because this gives you added functionality. I don't know why they removed it originally, and this time is feature packed. If you click and hold the trigger, it will set your gimbal in lock position. If you double click it, it will reset to its original position. If you double click it and hold, it will enter sports mode. And if you triple click the trigger, it will switch between the rear camera to the front facing camera. Now overall, I am very, very happy with this brand new upgrade, especially now since there's so much value packed in for $139. Not only you get the case, not only get the tripod, but a lot of improvements to the software that are very, very useful. I am very impressed by the capability of being able to recompose your shot during tracking, and I truly think that the hand gesture will impact the filmmaking workflow of a lot of people who film by themselves and don't have assistants or are just trying to keep everything very minimalistic. The foldable design is definitely something that adds up to the portability, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of you who travel will truly enjoy this. The last thing that I wanted to mention, and this is kind of like a bonus, is the fact that when you either turn on or off the gimbal, it finds its own path, and especially when you turn off the gimbal by holding down the mode button, it rotates the entire gimbal and it literally sets you up for success in terms of collapsing the whole gimbal. The beautiful thing about this is that once you click the gimbal in place, you can just easily remove your smartphone. But I found myself balancing my phone while in the foldable position, which is really cool. It's just very, very satisfying to see that the software and the hardware are coming together and it's all very seamless and just the movements are very, very subtle. But I want to know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down there so we can continue to create relevant content for you. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and a sub. And as always, thank you for sharing your time with me. I'll catch you on the next one.